A proclamation for Patricia and Grover Connell. Whereas Patricia Day Connell was born in 1916 and raised in Scotch Plains, where her father was the police chief and where she graduated from Scotch Plains High School as salutatorian. And whereas Grover Connell was born in 1918 and raised in the Bronx, New York. After earning a Bachelor of Science degree from Columbia University, he briefly worked for his father in the rice business. And whereas Patricia and Grover met at the beach in Manasquan, and from that introduction, a beautiful bond blossomed and grew into a wonderful marriage of 77 years. And whereas Mr. Connell answered the call of duty and proudly served as an officer of Lieutenant Senior grade in the United States Navy on a destroyer during World War II. And whereas following the war, Mr. Connell returned to work at Connell Rice and Sugar Company, now the Connell Company, taking over the business in 1950 and serving as its president for the rest of his life. And whereas a true entrepreneur, Mr. Connell led the company to become the world's largest rice trader and also guided the company into many diverse areas. And whereas known for his business acumen and integrity, Mr. Connell was respected by everyone with whom he came in contact. Yet, for all his achievements and attributes, Mr. Connell's pride and devotion remained centered on his family. And whereas Grover and Patricia Connell moved to Westfield in 1951, where they raised their three beloved children, Ted, Terry, and Tony, and enjoyed their precious grandsons, Shane Connell and his wife Jennifer, Dwayne Connell and his wife Jane, and Sean Connell and their 7 great-grandchildren, Clayton, Justin, Catherine, Chloe, Lila, Tessa, and Cody. And whereas, though very private and modest people, the Connells quietly and repeatedly supported many Westfield organizations and charities with an abundance of generosity. And whereas Patricia and Grover Connell lived long and accomplished lives, both reaching the century mark before passing within months of each other, Patricia in October of 2017 and Grover in May of 2018. And whereas, upon the loss of their longest-standing, cherished neighbors, the residents of the Watchung Fork, Lenape Trail, Ramapo Way community came forward and recounted many stories of the Connells' kindness and friendship towards everyone in the neighborhood, as well as the entire Westfield community. And whereas the extended neighborhood expressed their collective wish to pay special tribute to Patricia and Grover Connell in recognition of their nearly 70 years of residence, service, and generosity to the town of Westfield and its citizens, and the town wholeheartedly agrees. Now therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Shelley Brindle, on behalf of a grateful community, wish to ensure that the memories of Grover and Patricia Connell and all they stood for and accomplished be recognized and preserved for future generations by designating the small island of public land at the entrance to Watchung Fork as the honorary Grover and Patricia Connell Park on this 25th day of September. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and to the Connells. In a world that seems to be divided by partisanship and bitterness, and sometimes ego, you notice tonight that when they asked the Connells to come forward, none of the Connells stood up. And that's an indication of the type of people the Connells are. Never in the limelight, never looking for the lights, but always behind the scenes, showing their love and their concern not only to Westfield, but to their neighbors and their friends. So just a quick couple stories. So I moved to Watchung Fork about 25 years ago. The call comes from Grover Connell. John, can we have dinner Friday, 4 o'clock? I don't normally eat dinner at 4 o'clock, but it was Grover Connell. Car pulls up, takes us out for dinner, and it was important to Grover and Patricia that the neighborhood was the most important part of their life other than their family. Now let me emphasize that one more time. Here are people who are extremely successful, but their neighbors are extremely important. We've lost that today. The Connells never lost that. They knew that the center of a community is your neighbors and your friends and Westfield. That is so impressive from people who are that successful. And you can see through their children that the Connells have continued generation after generation to be people who basically love their community and love their neighbors. We need a lot more of that. So on behalf of the state legislature, but more importantly, on behalf of all the neighbors, we love the Connells. We'll miss your parents or grandparents, but they've left an indelible mark on our neighborhood. And what's interesting, if you see this park, if someone is touring the United States and they open their Google and it says, let's go visit Connell Park, they better not bring a lot of people. Because this is a little strip of land. And isn't that interesting? Just this little piece of land. But it's a big heart in this strip of land. So let me introduce Terry Connell, their lovely daughter, and you'll see when you meet her, you know, this is just another Connell, and we're blessed to have her.
Thank you, Mayor, Town Council, John for being here, and Tola Barron for spearheading this whole thing. You know, my parents moved into their house on Wandering Fork in 1951, so it was almost 70 years that they were there. And it's a tribute to Westfield and to the neighbors, that there isn't any other place that they would ever want to live. They love their neighbors, they love the town. We grew up here, and it's all very special to us. The park that John was referring to, you know, we used to ride our bikes around. My parents used to walk around